but I got it together. It's not straight, guys. It's not straight. But I worked it out. So I'm gonna give you guys a second. I know this is like I was playing with y'all, coming on, not being able to, is it public? Okay. Baby, they didn't want to let me. They didn't want to let me. Listen, I had to just give up and go to the cell phone. And I'm still waiting for an important call, which is why I said I would do it this way and just do a coffee corner and we can hang out for a little bit before I got to go see mom. And then I'll come back and do the last sign for 2026, which is Scorpio. Okay? We're going to take a look. But right now, I kind of wanted to recap some of the things, right? We've been through a lot this year. We probably don't even recognize what's good, April. And before I even get started, April, the commentary that you were putting in the other chat, I just want to say this to you. You need to find a holistic doctor in your area, okay, who can help you, because you need to take the medicine while you're doing it and also seek advice about how to purify your system. And in addition, the reason why you're not hearing as clearly is because, you know, there's a lot of, I feel like sometimes something that is helping us in one way, in another way could be blocking. Okay, yeah, we made it. Hey, everybody, what's good, Patience? Okay, what's good, everybody, all right? So I just wanted to tell you that, but you need an actual doctor to assist you in that. What's good, Jennifer LaRoe? Okay, and I especially don't give like medical advice online like that. Like that would be reckless. And I would never advise you to just cold turkey stop your medication. That as well would be reckless. Okay, that has to be done through a holistic doctor and keeping the main meds that are necessary. Because sometimes, you know, we get doubles and we don't even recognize it. Okay, so, but that's what I would do if it were me. Okay, I remember once, and I'm just going to say this as a sidebar, right? I remember once, it was probably like 2016. They gave me a medicine because of an autoimmune that I have. They gave me a medicine that is supposed to be a pain blocker. It's a popularly known one, and it starts with a G. That's all I'm going to say, right? Baby, I took that medicine one time. And for those of you who ever took, you ever had, like, if you have bad vision, you understand what I'm saying. It's like when you first put glasses on and the floor is mad close to you. I felt like I was in a fishbowl looking through the glasses. My man found me in the closet crying. It blocked all of my ability to hear anything. And I was like, I never took that medicine again. That's all I'm going to say about that. So everybody has different reactions, okay? And that's why I'm saying that. All right, so let's cover some of the crazy shit that happened. First off, I was talking to Rose from our, you know, private group or whatever. And I was like, remember back last year, at the end of last year, like around election time, it was before the election, but I kept insisting to you guys, like, after November 19th, shit is never going to be the same again. So I was saying that after November 19th, 2024, when Pluto entered Aquarius, that it was never going to be the same again. Tell me that I was lying. I think it was so jarring to us that it was like a shock to the system. Okay? There we go. There we go. Okay, because I don't have time for the stupid people right now. I know. But you know, the other day, somebody jumped in the comments and they were like, Nicki Minaj is the best. And I feel like the reason why they were doing that, I could tell you already, that was like a troll, right? That wants to upset people of color because it was right after she did the Turning Point interview. So, you know, you got to look at where it's coming from. And, you know, what they're really searching for is a reaction. And I'm just going to delete their ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to delete them. But what was I saying? So when Pluto went into Aquarius, listen, even that New Year's Eve, right? We had that situation that happened in, what was it, New Orleans and then Las Vegas, like the day after or hours apart. And we really came into the new year with a bang. Do y'all remember that? I mean, it felt so instant. Shock to the system. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yes, please, everybody do like. Oh my goodness. We're gonna start this shit. Go ahead, Project Execute, and just start clearing it up. But yeah, that was my feeling, that the whole year just ended up shifting. And it was like energetically, we were on overload. Okay? There we go. We were on overload. And so many things have happened. We had really terrible weather at the beginning of the year. Was that in California? Right? We had so many things that were piling up on us. Then we had the Kilmar Abrego. For those of you that have not seen, he finally won his case. And he is a free man here in the United States, no longer under threat of being deported, right? So, and it's fitting because I think that came out like the day before Christmas. The whole year was a frequency of shocking events, okay? So we're gonna take a look. We're gonna see what maybe we're supposed to know for the last random read. Should we get a... Okay. Let's get a star seed. I'm not doing the elements today because I know I have to run in a little bit. We're just gonna pull a couple cards. What was, while I'm shuffling, what was your most outrageous moment this year? What was, because we've had so many things come across to us that it's really hard for us to even pick which one. I feel like for me, it might have been back in the beginning when there was like an it was a veteran who, yes, we on. It was a veteran that I guess owns some type of store in Newark. And he, I guess ICE had went into his establishment, and they, you know, they took several people, including him, even though he showed his military ID. I think that was the moment for me that I felt the most terror. Right? And I think that I felt like that because my son, you know, was in the military for a long time. And that clearly meant to me that even your service couldn't protect you. And that was eye-opening to me. It felt like a moment of like, of being shattered in the belief system that we've been, you know, in, right? But there were many stories that were so shocking and so like make us so uneasy, right? We have all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within, right? Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. I feel like we were forced, and I think we're still being forced to try to kind of balance out our frequency and manage our nervous system, even though the chaos really hasn't stopped. And I was seeing something online, and it was basically talking about how places in other countries, the whole ICE debacle is still hard to watch, yes. I was watching, you know, and it was talking about like people out of the country who have been watching what the people are enduring, what the Americans of all shades are enduring under this situation. And I want to make a distinction between, you know, those who have the authority and those that are under this chaos, right? And so basically what it was saying is that these people that are outside of the country are impressed, in a sense, that we have managed to kind of traverse this situation without maybe, you know, responding in brutality, because we were completely aware that that was the purpose. It was to try to solicit responses from, you know, certain groups to cause certain dynamics. And I'm sure that those people who have power really counted on certain responses to take place, because by now, in their eyes, they would have had activated a law that's on the books that will give them the authority to stay there indefinitely. And that law would be that you're not supposed to change administrations in the middle of a war, which is why, by any means necessary, that seems to be the goal, whether it's Venezuela, Canada, you know, the American people. Right? Because wanting the response of a civil, let's use the word conflict, would then be able to bring in, you know, National Guards all across the country, and then, right? So trying to activate certain powers, not being able to activate those powers, being pushed back, even though we as the public may feel like it wasn't enough of a pushback. We could feel like that. Like we want more of a response. We want things to get better, right? Hello. Right? But at the same time, you know, what we have to see is that although it's taken time, we're still like here. We're still in it. We're still in it to win it. And what else have we recognized? That our pocketbooks are more powerful than we really understood. Okay? We've also seen companies show who they are. You know, some of these companies who have been bankrolling agendas, they have been seen now, and now we understand that what we need to do is put our money in the appropriate places so that we can support the vision that we see, right? A more inclusive, right? Because whatever your beliefs are or whatever your financial circumstances, that shouldn't cause you to want hardship for others. That's a separate problem we got. You know what I'm saying? And we shouldn't support companies that want to take that stand. And that was another shocking one of the year. The book bans and the you know, and the attack on diversity and inclusion, right? Just all the things that we saw happen. And I don't know about y'all, but, you know, it made me really think about when I was a child, right? And being in class and, you know, with my hand over my heart and, you know, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and, you know, and really believing in the inclusivity. I feel like we mourned this year. There was a sentiment of mourning. And maybe those of us, you know, of a particular age, I would say at least in their upper 30s and up, that shit was not easy to experience because we can remember a different time. Okay, where your rights weren't dependent on your appearance. That's hard to watch. I mean, if you think about it. And we've just had a lot of Twilight Zone stories this year. We had Atlas, AI Atlas, or whatever the hell that was, the meteor. We had shit flying in the sky. Wasn't it on New Year's last year they had that mall incident? Didn't that happen too? Didn't that happen too? I mean, who could keep up? Who could keep up? Let's see what Spirit want to say. And I just came really to chill and just talk about the craziness that we have. We probably don't recognize it. Look, as we sit here, we can't even really list all the wild shit that happened. We started off remember we started off January with I don't know how many plane crashes? Remember that? Listen, I still ain't been on a plane. I got back I think the end of 2024, after Christmas, but before, yeah, thankful for breaking news because I can't keep up. Yeah. I know I went to Ohio for a couple days between Christmas and New Year's. And then we got back and planes was crashing and all types of shit. Right? And I'll tell you what. I still ain't been on no fucking planes. I haven't. Okay? We had the government shutdown. I mean, it's been a lot, guys. Do you recognize all that you have been a witness to this year? Do you recognize it? Miss Ida, High Priestess, the ancestors. I feel like this year, we already were seeing spirituality coming back into the forefront. But I feel like this year was a tipping point where people were really confronted is a good word, by the reality of some structures and how they've been used against the masses. And I feel like, what's good, Mel? And I feel like that changed our view, made us search within ourselves and also for something else. I mean, this kind of looks like, you know, a church, right? Ten of Swords, right? Mother of Knives, right? Eight of Baskets. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. This year, I'm saving my tears. Give it to someone special. Once bitten and twice shy. Okay, we're making a different choice this year. You see with the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Underneath that is the Ten of Cups, okay? There's no more fucking illusions. Seven of Pentacles, okay, underneath that. This is giving me, like, we saw the realities of the situations. Now we got to stand on 10, whatever that is, okay? There could be some conflict still left. And we know that, you know, some shit still got to get cleared out. We can see that. But now we know what we're up against. Miss Ida. Why is the High Priestess here? Why is the High Priestess? This is an awakening, an awakening, an awakening. And the Hierophant. The High Priestess and the Hierophant. This would be the priest and the priestess. This is also the masculine and feminine version of spirituality. At the end, at the bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles. There are those willfully holding back from being cracked open by what they see around them. Okay, because they're still being controlled, you see, by these entities or powers that be, okay, that have placed these illusions so that they could run amok, and the tower, and it's cracking because the foundation, okay, because we have found a way to And I'm not saying that it's completely successful, don't get me wrong, but I would say that we have found ways to navigate this present situation without without giving in to the traps that have been set for us and the responses that they wanted, right? We have found other ways to express our displeasure, like no king's days and you know, boycotts of stores and things like that, right? Ancestors, Spirit, why is this here? With the Lovers. You know, there's more to come. I feel like in the male and female dynamic, okay? And when I say that, okay, there's more to come in the male and female dynamic. But when I say that, what I'm saying is that even a masculine can be cracked open. A feminine could be still upholding system. So, you know, I don't want to be misunderstood by that. Okay, but there's a need for us to embrace that there has to be restoration of the divine feminine. And that is what you are watching. And you are watching that through change and chaos. Okay? As you see, that is, you know, a system that's on life support, if you're following me. Okay? So we have the 10 of Swords here. With the 7 of Swords. See, because deception, when Neptune stepped out of Pisces, this ended, it's like 265 years or some shit like that. Wait, 14 times 12. It's a large number. I'm not going to go into exactly. I'm not a calculator in my brain, but you get the point, right? Either way, something that has been used for control and power has been giving way to clarity of mind. And the people feel how they've been mistreated. We had the whole, listen, speaking of, you saw what was just in the comments. Let's talk about how they said the rapture was going to be. And that we were all going to vanish. Remember that? I mean, this year has had all types of shit. Mother of Knives. And this is a culmination. We talk about this, you know, we've been talking about this heavy right now, but we have Pluto that went into Aquarius. That's a 20-year cycle. Neptune that's going to go into Aries. That's a 14-year cycle, right? Uranus that's going back into Gemini. That's an 8-year cycle, right? We have so much that we have completed and shed, and yet the Band-Aid hasn't been ripped off completely. Okay? Because there's inequity. Okay? And certain systems, what we have to understand is that these systems have been upheld by the feminine. It has. Okay? Because of our promotion of systems that actually prevent us from living in our sovereignty. Are you following me? You see that book? Right? And we are elevating certain individuals, like aristocrats, to continue the control. Right? But if the Queen of Pentacles, who is known to know her self-worth, if we come to the understanding that we have been the one that is supporting this system, And we're the ones that raise the families, right? Then eventually we can, from within, change that system. 8 of Cups, okay? Why is the 8 of Cups here? With the Empress, right? They have taken the role of the Empress, diminished it. They have also stripped our protectors from understanding the importance of the duality. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. Of the balance. But while we're insistent upon removing the Empress or the Divine Feminine, we can't come into balance, right? So there is an opportunity right now. Page of Pentacles. With the 6 of Swords. To go to calmer waters. The Chariot. Okay? But it also means that we have to endure this situation, this year that we went through. And it's not completely over, right? Because that's what's going to bring about us wanting to take action. This is a fire year, okay? In Chinese astrology, it's a fire horse. In numerology, it's a 1. But I feel like we have a lot of things going on in Aries this year. So, and then the North Node will be, the South Node will be in Leo. It's giving fire, a lot of fire, okay? So a lot of the element that's going to be at play is going to be fire. And then you have here the burning away, right? For the return of the High Priestess or the Divine Feminine. And the Ace of Pentacles, and we've been talking a lot about the last few days about how the Divine Feminine, yes, she magnifies, but love and money run on the same frequency, right? So we keep being attacked from all different angles energetically by this onslaught of like instability. And it is to cause those blockages. And I think that for the most part this year, what we learned was to try to be even keeled, to try to maintain your vibration. That in that, that's the chaos that they want to implement on us to keep us frozen, fight, flight, or frozen, right? And as we have for quite some time, my Patreoners, been studying how to use chaotic energy as controlled chaos. And now we're seeing why, okay? So we also have here the 5 of Knives. Spirit, why is the 5 of Knives here? Five of Knives comes out with the Sun. And we can see in all the ways that they've tried to manipulate us. And now we're understanding that our own ability to maintain, to be not reactive, causes the system anxiety. Okay? We're starting to understand that there is power to the people, power in being non-reactive, okay? Got the 6 of Swords here. Spirit, why is the 6 of Swords here? I should say the 6 of Sticks. So I feel like they thought they would win if we were reactive, if we get to fucking shit up, okay? But we didn't do it. We didn't take the bait, okay? Now the Emperor is very nervous. Okay? Once these aristocrats lose enough money, they're going to walk away. They won't support that. There will also be others, you know, people that have to run for election in 2026. Their support's going to get soft too. Okay? 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay? While we continue to watch where our coins are, filled by April, we're really in it to win it as to who we're not supporting. Strength card and the 8 of Wands, something about 8-8 right here. And the 10 of Cups, glee. Fucking happiness, joy. Joy and pain is like sunshine and rain. A certain individual has a lot of Leo in their chart. And so does number 2. And I feel like, oh, it feels like this summer blows something up for them. Okay? And it actually could start in April. But from Taurus season to I feel like 8-8 is going to be ugly. A bumpy ride for the energy of the system, if you're following what I'm saying. Okay? I feel like for us, it's like a nail biter, but I also feel people dancing in the street. I'm hearing that song, can't get all the words, dancing on the ceiling. Okay, the Lionel Richie shit. Okay. I'm just gonna pull some challenge. I'm not really gonna stay on because like I said, I'm waiting for something important, and I'm gonna go run and see my mom, and then I will come back and do the Scorpio reading for 2026. Spirit, can you show me? Unexpected income. Powerhouse, wealthy man. Official person. I feel like somebody's assets are, I feel like somebody is going to be held responsible maybe after they're not here anymore. And large sums of money are going to be due. Peter picked up papers and room rock rhyme. Humpty Dumpty fell down. That's his hard time. I feel like a lot of cases. I put a case on all you bitches. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. Patreoners. Tomorrow afternoon, maybe we'll do something if we can. If not, we'll do it first in the morning. My mom has a doctor's appointment, so after that, I will come on, hopefully, if everything goes good, okay? I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Bye, guys.